How are you?
Good, ma.
Joy Thompson has a dream to reunite her family.
Just came from work.
Yes.
Thompson came to Canada in 2004 to help support her children and to put them through school back in the Philippines. And it paid off. Her daughters, April and Aubrey Nouvelle, graduated as nurses. In 2018, they were working in the United Arab Emirates. To join their mother in Canada, they needed a work permit. When Thompson's boss introduced her to Rose and Bert Smith, owners of an employment agency that offers immigration services, she felt her dream was finally about to come true.
I was excited when I saw Rose. She even said we are in good hands.
Smith said for $12,000 each, she could get Thompson's daughters jobs here in Lewisport, Newfoundland, working as personal care attendants at this retirement home she said was owned by a close friend. Thompson signed service agreements with Smith to process their federal and provincial immigration applications. But after she paid an $8,000 deposit, she says everything changed.
She became rude. She doesn't want to be asked.
Thompson says Smith never allowed them to have access to their visa and permanent residency applications.
She holds it. And every time we ask, she always said, okay, if you want to, then you do it on your own.
I'm sad because
Aubrey's visa was approved first, but she claims when she asked to speak to the owner of the retirement home in Newfoundland,
Rose didn't allow us to contact her.
Then Smith told Aubrey her job start date was on hold due to COVID. In frustration, she turned to an officer at Newfoundland Immigration for help. She was in for a surprise. "We find the information your agent has given you to be concerning," wrote the officer, warning the agent must be registered, otherwise they're not allowed to take money from her.
This is the first letter.
Immigration asked them to send a copy of their signed agreement and put the Nouvelle's applications on hold to investigate. So we investigated too. Turns out Rose Smith is not a registered immigration consultant, not authorized to provide immigration services. Rose Smith is actually former immigration lawyer Rose Laure Noel. In 2014, Noel was found guilty of professional misconduct for failing to cooperate fully with an investigation into 5 client complaints involving the fees she charged and how she handled the monies. Her license was revoked in Ontario and Quebec. Then, within months of signing service agreements with Thompson, the Ontario Superior Court of Justice ordered Smith and an associate to repay $40,000 to a woman in Markham, Ontario, after Smith promised to help bring her brother and his wife to Canada from China. The services were never provided. Thompson asked for her money back, but Smith refused, saying they got the services they paid for. She blamed the Nouvelles for meddling in the process and for the relationship breakdown with the employer, who withdrew her support for their applications.
Our dreams shattered. My hope of being with them disappeared.
The problem was that the recruiter, instead of simply finding them a job, turned into something more.
Great, thanks so much.
In Canada, the only people who can give immigration advice for a fee are regulated consultants or lawyers. Phil Mooney reviewed the Nouvelles' files.
The recruiter effectively promised them and offered to do immigration work for them, gave them advice on how to file, asked for all the documents, all of that, and they acted clearly as their immigration representative in putting together this application.
Rose Smith insists that everything was above board, that they hired a lawyer to submit the Nouvelles' immigration applications. Thompson says they never heard from Apex's lawyer, never even knew his name. The only person that ever gave them advice was Rose Smith. Not knowing who to turn to, Thompson reached out to the Immigration Consultants Regulatory College.
Unlicensed practitioners have been extremely active in every aspect of Canadian immigration.
And here's the final twist. CEO John Murray says a licensing body can't take action against an unlicensed practitioner.
As I said, we are trying to work out with the federal government amendments to our powers to take legal process against unlicensed practitioners. We just don't have a resolution to those discussions yet.
If you're just a simple citizen, they will just turn their back on you. That's how I feel. There's nobody to go to.
Love you, Ma.
Love you.
Thank you.
In the meantime, Thompson's daughter Aubrey is still working in Abu Dhabi.
Okay, love you.
Love you, Ma.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Her other daughter, April, has gone back to the Philippines, and the family is still out $24,000.
My kids want their money back. Me, I want my kids here.
All this as Newfoundland and Labrador, along with the rest of Canada, continues to experience a healthcare worker shortage.
So, Chris, this is a real cautionary tale. Can we drill down here? What specifically should other people do to avoid falling into this?
Adrienne, if you're paying someone for immigration advice, they've got to be a lawyer or an immigration consultant. And there's an easy way to find out if they are an authorized consultant. Just go to the website of the College of Immigration and Citizenship Consultants, search their name, it'll come up and it'll even give you their registration number. Joy Thompson is wishing she'd done just that, and she's urging any newcomers to Canada to do it so they don't end up in the same situation as her and her daughters, with their money gone, the jobs gone, and nowhere to turn.
Terrible. Chris O'Neill Yates, thank you.
You're welcome.